All right. Hey. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Current Surf Show. I'm your host, Old Surf Dad. And with me is T-Bone. I'm stoked that you're here. Western Australia represented. Western California represented. And with us as always, that music might be a little loud. With us as always is our producer, Howley Heidi.
You.
Hey, Heidi. Yeah. So Heidi's going to handle the chat in the comments. Get in there and tell us, start it off with tell us where you're from. And as T-Bone and I break down the Tahiti, I'm going to put the sponsor in there, the Shiseido Tahiti Pro, tell us what your thoughts are as we go through this. But T-Bone, what I want to start with was the surf forecast. Let's see what we got right here.
Oh, please, mate, please.
I know, I'm begging. I'm going to start with the SwellNet Aussie version. SwellNet says, local winds at this stage look a little fluky and variable throughout the entire period thanks to the absence of any major sustained trade flow. This shouldn't affect conditions too adversely, especially with the multiple quality swell days lining up. Dude, that's good news. Is SwellNet more accurate than Surfline would be my question.
Oh, I mean, I normally look at probably 3 to try and get a bit of an accurate forecast. But mate, it's sounding a lot better than what Margaret River did. So the trials didn't look like it was held in very good conditions. Looked like they just missed that pretty decent swell before, but that looks promising, mate. I mean, I'm no meteorologist, but that looks like something brewing.
Yeah, check this out. So here's the Surfline version. Here's what it looks like today. There's a skiff going by. And by the way, welcome everybody. I see Alexander. I welcome you all the way from Bali. Awesome. You're on the same time zone as T-Bone.
Morning,
it's 4:30 a.m. He's having his coffee. It's afternoon here. Yo from San Diego, Sean, welcome, man. Thanks for coming in the chat. And let's look at this forecast. So here's the forecast, and it starts on the 21st. So we're looking at a couple of small days going in. And, just yesterday, T-Bone, it was calling like 6 to 8, 8 to 10 on the Saturday, Sunday, a week from today. And now they've already downgraded it to a 6 to 8, 4 to 6, but that's something.
Yep.
But if you look here at the end, I'm going to put my mouse over that. If you look here at the end, it's over here. If you look here, it says 10 to 15, 8 to 12. And I think, the waiting period's till the 31st, which is pretty cool. I mean,
is that the last day?
Yeah, the 31st is the last day. Let me double check my.
So the swell's going to potentially come late to the party.
Well, it might pull a full Margaret River on us, which would be pretty cool.
It would.
And by the way, I want to mention that I think it's important to mention, T-Bone, you're so used to an audio-only version being from the Barrel Podcast. If I didn't mention the Barrel Podcast, check it out, you guys. It's the Western Australian legends talking in the shed quarters and the shed there at Yowlingup. So I'm not used to it as much. Remind me for the listeners on the podcast, you can listen to us anywhere, Current Surf Show at Apple, Spotify, and all the above. And if you're listening on the rebroadcast, welcome to the show. You won't be able to chat, but you will be able to put comments in the YouTube rebroadcast. Yo, Noah Skates from Florida, welcome, dude. I am in Sebastian Inlet. That was one of my old stomping grounds. I am a Ponce Inlet, New Smyrna guy, but I did hit Second Light. Let's continue on. So I like the end of this. I really like the end of this this waiting period for some finals action. But I think the takeaway for me on this is that they're going to probably start in an overhead sort of Teahupoo and Teahupoo kind of surf. So I want us to keep that in mind as we make our picks.
Hey,
Yeah.
just remind me, Dave. When you lock in the picks now, you can't change them, right? That's the new rule post the cut, right?
Yeah, and it's a good reminder for everybody out there who didn't watch the preview video. I explain how the heats work and all that, and you can go check that out. But yeah, once you make your picks, once the event, well, let me say it this way: once the event starts, that's when your picks lock. And to be honest, I sort of like that. I sort of
Same.
like the way they do that, man, because this reselect thing and staying up till 4:30 in the morning or whatever to get to your reselects, it's a hassle, and I also overthink my picks, and I think I do a lot better with my initial reactions. I think we've all done that before. But let's get down to the real question. What's the right way to pronounce Teahupoo? So, dude, it's so funny you say that. I wanted to broach that topic. So I'm going to make an attempt here, and I've gotten so much criticism. When I did the interview with Rue Hill, I said Teahupoo. And then what I was correct to say, Teahupoo. And I think it's actually Teahupoo, or there's a little apostrophe in there. But if there's somebody who knows how to say it, can sound it out in the chat, or if you're from Tahiti, you're an actual local, I'm going to put you on the show with T-Bone and I and have you pronounce it for us because I have that technology. But for now, let's jump into, you know what I want to do, T-Bone, and I think
Yes,
it'd be
mate.
fun for everybody. We're going to do a speed round in the opening round for the heats. So let me pull that up.
Ooh,
I want
yeah.
to say hi to Doug Braun from Morro Bay because that's my hood.
Nice. Holly Heidi is not just from Hawaii. You grew up there, but you also grew up in, tell us, Heidi, where'd you?
Family resides in Morro Bay. So Morro Bay.
Yeah. Morro Bay. I love that place.
Okay.
I got a great surf there.
Let's get to the
time we were
picks.
there.
Sorry.
No. I know. You keep me
Shout out.
moving along. Keep me moving along. All right. So for those who are listening audio-wise, we're going to go through this heat by heat, and I'm going to call them out. Ethan Ewing, Seth Moniz, Connor O'Leary. Who wins? T-Bone, you go.
I'll go Seth Monitz. I think he's on feeling pretty good, making the cut.
I agree with you. I'm going to pick Seth Moniz, and the cool thing we get here is we get the percentages of what everybody else has picked. Ethan Ewing's at 48%. He may do well with the surf in that head-high range with turns on offer. Connor O'Leary at 13%. Let's go to Heat 2. Heat 2, John, Rio, Yago.
That's an easy one, mate. John, he's never won Tahiti, but he's won a lot of heats, so I'm going John.
I know. He's always right there in the semis and in the finals. So we'll pick John together. That one's hard not to disagree on. Jack Robinson, Ramsey Bukaim, and Kelly Slater.
Oh, mate,
Come on,
I'm still on
Kelly.
You know I'm on the Kelly train. Still.
Are you really?
I'm still, yes.
For those of you that don't know, T-Bone was a guy who carried him up the beach from Margaret River when he allegedly retired. So you are my hero. I should be bowing to you. But yeah, I tell you what, obviously I'm taking Jack Robinson. 68% say Jack, and 24% say what T-Bone says, Kelly Slater. All right, here's the heat I want to look at. Griffin Colapinto, Ilo Ferreira, and Mihimana Bray. What do you think about that one, T-Bone?
Mate, I reckon that's a tough one because
I do too.
Yeah, I'm going to say Griffin. Just going to say Griffin.
Okay, and I'm on the fence on that one, but I have a feeling that I'm going to take Mihimana in Tier C, but I'm going to pick him and see what happens here. 23%. He's got a pretty low percentage there compared to what others think. 45% for Griffin and Ilo Ferreira, 32%. Let's go to Heat 5. Jordy Smith, Crosby Colapinto, and your friend Matthew McGilvray. If you haven't heard on the Barrel podcast, Matthew and Liam and Sophie are all on the dude, that sounded like a fun night. But I want to carry on. Who do you pick in that? Jordy, Crosby, Matthew.
I'm going Geordie, but another tough one.
Dang. I I like Crosby for some reason, but I don't think I'm going to pick him in my fantasy team. Heat 6, Jake Marshall, Imai Kalani DeVault, and Gabriel Medina. That's a tough one.
It is. Oh, it's hard to go past Gabby, right? But I'm going to go DeVault for an upset.
Nice. All right. 11% agree with you, 83% on Gabriel Medina. He's just got so much power here, so much synchronicity. There's a better word. Symbiosis. Let's go with Baron Mamiya in Heat 7, Liam O'Brien, Ryan Callanan. That's actually a tough heat. Heat 7, Baron Mamiya, Liam O'Brien, Ryan Callanan.
I mean, yeah, it's hard to go past Barron, but I'm going to go Lobby O'Brien. He's my boy, mate.
Yeah, that's why I call it a tough pick. I would probably pick Barron, and you'll see what I do in fantasy in just a moment. 74% say Barron, 9% say Liam, and boy, only 9%. That's amazing. People underestimate him, man. Dude, when he goes over the ledge, I don't know if you've seen the Instagram lately. The guy's eyes roll in the back of his head, and he goes, man. He doesn't even think about it. Ryan Callanan at 17%. Last heat, Heat 8. Interesting heat. I love this heat. Cole Houshmand, Kanoa Igarashi, Leo Fioravanti.
I'm going to go the Italian Stallion.
That's a good pick. I actually like Cole in this one for an upset. 48% say Leo, 29% Kanoa, who's still tough. Kanoa's really good here. He loves the barrel. And then finally Cole at 23%. All right, let's go to the ladies and go through their heats real quick. How we doing on time, Holly Heidi?
It's
yeah, moving along.
Yeah, you're moving along.
Heat 1, Brisa Hennessy, Gabrielle O'Brien, Tati Weston Webb. Great heat right there.
Oh, go Tati.
Nice call. I'm going to go Brisa probably. 46% agree with you, 21% Gabrielle O'Brien, and 33% Brisa Hennessy. Heat 2, Caitlin Simmers, Tyler Wright, Vahine Farrow. Probably the best heat in the women's. I don't know, they're all great. And by the way, I'm just going to jump in. I'm going to say Caitlin Simmers will be my pick here. I know a lot of you are going to take Vahine. Who are you going to take?
Well, I just want to say your French, your pronunciation is like top notch. How you pronounce these names, by the way.
If you read the comments on my YouTube, they would not agree with you.
Okay.
But I don't care, man. I do the best I can. Who do you like, man?
I'm going the local girl, man. I'm going the local girl.
Yeah, good call. Good call. Joanne DeFay, Betty Lou, Carissa Moore in Heat 3. An amazing heat, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. I like Carissa there, but I think that's a tougher heat than you think it is for everyone out there thinking about
100%.
picking Carissa. And I want to mention this. When the winner, I'll just do a quick overview. The winner goes on into the round of 16. In the women's case, it's right into the quarters. And then the losers, the two losers, go into an elimination round where they fight to get into the quarters, okay? So what I would say about Carissa Moore is she just lost to Betty Lou. She's lost a couple times to Betty Lou. She lost to Betty Lou at Pipe in the elimination round and was eliminated, sadly. And Joanne DeFay, if you remember the last 2 years before Joanne DeFay was hurt, Joanne DeFay and Carissa Moore had a bit of a rivalry. I mean, they were friends, but I think they're pretty well matched in the last couple of years as far as heats go. Joanne they can beat Carissa. But I have noticed at the same time that Carissa has shown up and she's been getting her reps in at Tahiti, and I've seen Instagram. I've seen Instagram clips of her. And again, you're not supposed to use Instagram. You're supposed to use competitive experience, but Carissa has that. So I've seen her get her few tubes. Have you watched any of that on Instagram?
Not much of Carissa. But my thoughts about her is she's going to Tahiti with no pressure. This is a warm up for the Olympics,
Mm.
and five times world champ. I mean, yeah, she's a safe bet. I'm thinking she might take this out.
Well, let's see who you pick when we get to Tier C and the women's, because
Yep.
that's probably the most difficult pick in this entire round, in the entire event. I would say Heat 4, everyone. Last heat, and then we're gonna jump into picks. Heat 4 is Molly Picklum, Caroline Marks, and Sawyer Lindblad. Um, that's a tough heat too.
I mean, it's an easy one for me. I'm going to go Molly Picklin, but if it gets big, if the girls go out and it's pretty juicy, I'm going Molly.
I can't agree with you more. The only problem is I think they're going to start in that head high
Mm.
range, or
Yep.
let's even call it double overhead. I think Caroline still has a chance. I would go with Caroline on that one. 52% is Molly Picklum, 44% Caroline Marks, and Sawyer Lindblad at 4%. And watch Sawyer Lindblad, who's a goofy footer, by the way, as is Caroline Marks. Watch
Mm.
Sawyer Lindblad surprise everybody and win that heat. I mean, stranger things have happened this year, and there are going to be upsets for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
Um,
I know Sawyer hasn't been to Tahiti before, but she
mm,
she charges.
Yeah, there's a couple who haven't been to Tahiti before. I think I mentioned that, Ramsey, or they've been, but they have not competed in a CT event. And I think that's a totally different thing. But Ramsey, Cole, Sawyer, Crosby, a couple others in there. So
Yeah,
keep that in mind as you pick your team. Let's get into it, dude.
yeah, man. Let's
Okay.
go.
We'll take turns. We'll alternate, and we'll start with Tier A in the women. Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
Go, mate. You go for it.
I'm taking Katie Simmers, and the reason I'm taking Katie Simmers really quickly is because I'm completely enamored with her tube riding from Maps to Nowhere.
Oh,
It's
it's
and that's a
crazy.
terrible reason to make that pick because this is left-handers at Teahupoo, but I think her skills, her ability to read waves and ride tubes, and just her surfing ability is so high, man. I can't look past that performance.
Mm.
So I'm taking Caitlin Simmers. Let's go back. And who
Has,
would
has
you?
Katie surfed Chopu much before?
Yeah, Heidi, great question. She surfed last year, and she was. This is a great question because I want to remind the audience out there. Um, Katie Simmers was runner-up last year to Carolyn Marks, and
Right. Okay.
she
Okay.
beat Vahine and Molly on the way to the
Hmm.
finals. But remember, she had close heats. Like her and Molly's heats, I mean, was like a small percentage point, like point 0.3 or something different. So that could have easily gone either way. Who you taking in Tier A?
Oh, it's a tough one for the natural footers because if it gets small, I think it's probably an advantage for the goofs. But I'm going
Mm.
Molly. I think she's done a little bit of time there, and yeah, I'm just going to back her in on this one. I think it's her. I think she's pretty keen to get back on the in the winner's circle.
Yeah, I mean, that's a coin toss to me, but it's a tough decision
Oh
because
yeah,
so much is riding on your picks. Is she your power, or are you going to hold off on that?
I'm going her. She's my power, but I may change last minute. But at this stage, she is.
Yeah. All right. And Caitlin Simmers is my power surfer at the moment as well. Tier B. Who do we like in Tier B? You get to go first this time.
I'm going Marksy only because you know what you're telling me with the swell forecast, it might suit her being on her forehand. And I'm going another goofy foot. I'm going Taddy.
Wow. Nice.
I think it's pretty safe.
Um,
Is that the story with Chopu? Is the Goofies do
Well,
better?
it,
well, I mean, I don't know. I think when you watch it when it's bigger, I think it's the natural footers. They're able to sort of cut into it and get pitted, but when it's smaller, it looks a lot trickier and faster, and probably would favour the goofies. That's just
Okay.
my read.
Mm.
Being front side on that wave when it's smaller, I think, is an advantage. And finally, the goofy footers get an advantage. In fact, if you look at the whole end of the tour, the goofy footers have the advantage with this event, Fiji, and you could even arguably say Rio in some respects, because that wave tends to be a left, depending on what the tide is. But I'm going Brisa Hennessy. Look at Shaggy out there. I'm just about to say my pick, and I look down, and he's pretty much taken my pick. So, I'm going Brisa Hennessy and Caroline Marks. And I've just been watching clips of Brisa Hennessy. Remember, Brisa Hennessy was runner-up in 2022, and then she was injured and out last year. But I'm going Brisa Hennessy and Caroline Marks. But I'm going to toss and turn over the choice between Caroline Marks and Tatiana Weston Webb. I think Tati could have a breakout event here. I think she could do really well, and I love your picks of the two goofy footers here in Tier B. And I really love your pick, Shaggy. So we're going with Brisa. I went with Brisa and Caroline. T-Bone went with Caroline and Tatiana. Let's move to Tier C. Actually, let me put my picks in here so everybody can see. Caroline Marks. So Tier C. All right, here it is.
Let's
Is this
go.
my turn? Wait,
Let's go, mate. Go.
This is my turn. Dude, I'm going for it. I realize if you watched this show earlier that Katie, my power surfer, and Vahine in the same heat, and guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to take Vahine. And I'm going to say, yeah, one of them's going to lose, but they're going to come back through the other side, do the elimination round. And guess who else has done that? Molly did it last year. A couple other surfers made it through the elimination round. And I think if anyone's going to make it through, it's going to be Katie and Vahine. I'm going Vahine. Let's look at your picks. There's Sawyer, there's Carissa, there's Vahine. What do you think?
Mate, I thought you would have went with your girl, mate, Carissa Moore. I'm surprised
I thought about it. I did a lot of intense research, and that never helps me, but that's what I did. Who do you have?
I'm going to go Carissa. I
think it's a great call.
I just got a feeling, but yep, we'll see.
I'm cheering for all these women. I mean, there's going to be, hopefully we get some solid waves, and there's going to be some performances like we saw at Pipe. I don't think it's as good as Pipe, but damn, what if that last bit of waiting period, that swell comes to fruition and we get sick waves? I mean, I would love that. Risk from nostalgia. All right, before we move into the men's picks, Heidi, do you have a couple comments you want to read?
What is Brisa has a reef tattoo? What does that mean?
Oh, Brisa
she hit the reef or what?
She did. She in her warm-ups, she got kind of a leg, kind of a cut on her leg, and it was a gnarly wipeout. If you haven't seen it, go onto her Instagram and watch her wipeout. She just gets sucked over the falls. It's pretty hectic. It's definitely a position I don't want to be in.
So what, do we think that scarred her? You think she's going to be a little jumpy, a little spooked?
I think she's going to be a little fired up.
All right. Okay.
But you could read that either way. Those of us who do fantasy picks like that, like just read into all of it. Yeah. Am I right?
There's a couple comments for the men's picks. You want me to say them now?
Yeah, let's hear it. Yeah, this is the moment.
So Sean thinks Liam's the ultimate dark horse. I am always on that team. So
yeah, me too.
Awesome.
And I'm not going to say his name right, so I'm not going to try. But Ramsey for the dark horse. And I love me some Ramsey. So I picked him already on my team. But then after your guys' discussion just now in those heats, seeing what the heats were, because I am doing this just now, I was like, oh, I don't know about with that first heat. Maybe not, but he's been doing so well this year. I like him.
It's
Yeah,
awesome that he made the cut for sure. He deserved it.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, the guy's backside surfing in these rights has been phenomenal. Um, let's move on. Men's tier A. It's your turn, bud.
Well, yeah, I'm like I said, like I was saying earlier, John's never won, but he's I think he's probably got the best. Tell me if I'm wrong, Dave, but he's got probably got the best heat statistics, the most excellent scores. So I'm going John as my power, and even though my second surfer, even though he's never won, he's never got past a round of 16. I'm pretty sure that's right. I'm going to go Griffin because his Instagram feed of late is just impressive. It's hard to go past him. I mean, it's such a hard pick to be honest with you, but
It's crazy. I agree with you. And T-Bone, I have to be honest. I thought you would go Jack and John Florence. And I don't know if you're going to be let back into yelling up when they see you without picking Jack. But I was, if you were going to go Jack and John, I was going to pick Griffin. But since you didn't do that, I'm going to pick Jack and John. Actually, I'm going to make John my power surfer. Who's your power surfer going to be between Griffin and
I, I'm going to
um,
pick John. I'm going to pick John, and hopefully it's going to come down to those last day or two of the waiting period, and John's still
yeah.
in the event.
Yeah, sounds good. Let's go to tier B, and we have a just an an amazing group of surfers here. I didn't list them off for the listeners. Baron Mamiya for tier A, but I am gonna do it for tier B. Baron Mamiya, Cole Houshman, Kanoa Igarashi, Liam O'Brien, Imai Kalani DeVault, Crosby Colapinto, Seth Moniz, Rio Aida, Ramsey Bukaim, Ilo Fajera, and Leonardo Fierravanti and Ryan Callanan. What do you got there, T-Bone?
Um, I'm going firstly. I'm going the two Hawaiians. Seth Moniz. Just got a funny feeling about Seth. On a
Yeah,
bit of a high after Margaret's. Made the cut, probably in a good space. And just watching his latest Billabong film, man, he's so good in left tubes.
he sure is.
And it's hard not to pick Barramamia. We've all seen
Totally
what he can
agree.
do in left-hand tubes. So very strong and got a pretty high win percentage too. So I've got Barron, and then I'm going the Italian Leo.
Mm.
Pretty solid pick. And my last one is Liam O'Brien. I think someone called him out as a dark horse. So yeah, I think he could go really deep, and he's proven that he can charge some pretty heavy waves. So Liam O'Brien is my last one, mate.
That's a those are excellent calls. I'm going to agree with you on several of those. Let's talk about it. First, I want you to know I'm 15th in the entire league in the entire W. Wait, hold on.
You,
Heidi's saying to me something. Oh, I'm sorry. 15,000th overall.
I was going to say 15th. Jeez.
No, dude. I'm 15,000. So before I make this pick, and remember, we're both struggling this year. There's been a lot of upsets. I had DYL did some stats on how many upsets there's been. It's been crazy. That was a bad joke gone worse. But I'm going to follow you. I'm going Baron Mamiya.
Nice. Yeah.
I'm going Seth Moniz. I just can't get enough of Doug Silva as his coach and how much he's hyping him, man. How much Seth Moniz looks so much better with a little direction. The guy's a great surfer. It's just, I don't know. I guess he needed some focus. I don't know what it is. There's so many intangibles involved in this, you
Yeah,
know,
for
and
sure.
people just get lit up. And then I'm going to agree with you on Liam O'Brien, dude.
Dude,
I
you copying my picks, man.
Well, I'm going to go a different direction at the end here, but what's strange is again I'm picking two guys in the same heat, and so did you, T-Bone. Baron Mamiya and Liam O'Brien are in that same heat in Heat 7, but I believe that one of them will make it through. And if you're more into spreading your picks out over the bracket, don't follow what we do. But I've decided I'm just going to pick the best surfers available. And these, to me, are the best surfers available. And then my final pick, I'm not going Leo. I like that pick a lot. And normally I would pick I just said best surfers available. I'm actually going Cole Houshman. And the reason I'm going Cole Houshman, which is crazy, is he's never surfed there before, but that didn't seem to hurt him when he won Bells. Yeah. And I've seen Instagram clips, which I shouldn't watch, but the big fella is good in all sizes, and he charges. A lot of people don't like Crosby Colapinto. I think he's got a chance. Yeah, dude, he's not afraid. The problem is it's going to be small at the front end. So, anyway, those are our Tier B picks. We're going to move on to Tier B or Tier C. Sorry. We're doing pretty good on time.
Plenty
Heidi,
time,
any comments you wanna read over there? Put some goofies in there, man.
I know. How's us? You can see that we're natural footers.
Yeah. Griffin never went far in Tahiti. I think I have seen him not make it through that first round of 16, but I feel like this is his year. Cole is risky considering an elimination round lost at Pipe. Yeah, I think that was his first. Yeah, that's absolutely true. Hey, I'm trying not to think about those things, SB. Don't get in my head, dude. I'll change that pick. No, I'm staying with my picks, by the way. This is it. I'm shutting it down after this. And you can see on my website, my picks under my picks is what it says, fantasy picks. And I'll also be doing the Chat GPT picks and seeing what they come up with. And Chat GPT, I'm doing way better than them. So screw AI. They don't know what they're talking about. Greg Smith says, Gabe and Connor. Any others you got out there, Heidi?
No.
Noah Skates.
Noah Skates wants Gabe as everyone's power surfer.
He does
really well there, though. I picked him.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna get to Tier C. Let's talk about Tier C. That jumps us right in there. Is it my turn? It's my turn or your turn? I don't know.
Mate. You go, mate.
Okay, so let's read them off. Gabriel Medina, Matthew McGilvray, Connor O'Leary, Yagadora, Kelly Slater, and Mihimana Bray. And I got to take Gabriel Medina. And he won't be my power surfer. Under normal circumstances, Gabriel Medina would be my power surfer. Mm-hmm. But because he struggled this year, or, there's a lot of allegedly bad judging calls or whatever is in his way, I think he's finally going to get a good event under his belt on this one. But I don't think he's going to win. But the stat that is overwhelming here is Gabriel Medina has been in the finals every time he's competed at Teahupoo, except for 1 year, 2016, I think it was, when John.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
That is an unbelievable stat. It's hard to get past that. And maybe you could use that stat and go, well, he's due for failure, and he's had a rough year. And I'll tell you one other thing about Gabriel that causes some pause is the fact that he hasn't shown up in Tahiti. You haven't seen him in any of those clips from that last swell. He was still in Brazil doing airs in Maracias and just doing his thing. And I would also say the other notable person that's missing from Tahiti is you would think that Felipe Toledo, with the Olympics coming up, would be showing up for some warm-up rounds at Tahiti. And I have seen no sign of him. And
where is he? He's just MIA.
He was, he did a little trip to Mexico to get some waves, but it wasn't something that's going to groom him, that's going to get him into waves in Tahiti. And I just think he's the most talented surfer probably out of everyone. he just needs to learn how to surf these shallow reef breaks. And if you want to hear about how gnarly it is, check out my interview that I did with Rue Hill. He's an English guy who's like, your average to above average surfer. I'm going to say your above average surfer who goes to Teahupoo and gets waves. And he does an interview and talks about all that. Gabe has been on fire since the ISA comp in Puerto Rico. Craig, I agree with that too. See, like you could argue both sides of that, but I'm picking Gabriel Medina. Let me carry on with my next pick. My next pick is not going to be Yagodora, who I was going to pick, but I'm going to go Mihimana Bray. I'm going with the local legend. And if you didn't know, he was in the quarters last year, and he lost to Baron Mamiya. And I watched the heat just to see what happened because there was an interference. But the guy, he charged a couple barrels and didn't make them out. But if he would have made those barrels, he would have easily won that heat and been in the semis. You could say that about a lot of heats. But anyway, those are my picks. Tell me what you got for Tier C, T-Bone.
Hey, I was just checking before. So no Cali Vass this year. He I reckon a lot of the full time guys would probably be happy, but with how do you pronounce his name? Miyahami? I can't even say it, but
Mihimana.
yeah,
And I'm probably botching it.
Yeah, he's deadly. But Cali Vass, man, he done really well over the last few years. So my picks.
Well, hold on. Let me stop you for 1 second. You want to know why Cali Vast isn't in it? Because your boy Kelly has taken his place. Because I think it would be Cali Vast. I don't know.
Oh, man.
Kelly.
That's
come
cool.
on,
That's
go.
cool by me, man. Well, Kelly Vass beat him beat Kelly, was it in the semis last year or the year before? I can't remember.
I believe so.
Year before.
Yeah, I believe so. I think that's right. Zaid, I hope I'm saying your name right. Probably not. Zaid Mayu. Mihimana already showed some good signs in small conditions, and he did. That's absolutely true. I'm so glad you brought that up. Mihimana showed that in the trials that was like a wind-blown head-high wave, and the guy was ripping there too. Kali lost in the trials. Yeah, so Kali had the opportunity, but I think if he loses the trials, he still gets in if Kelly wasn't there, because I believe, and I could be wrong on this, he was the next person in the CS ready to take that wild card spot within his region, within the region. But I cut you off. Please tell me who your picks are, bro.
Yeah, well, first one's easy. Kelly Slater.
Nice. I love that you're picking Kelly.
You know what blows me away? He won Tahiti first time 24 years ago. Just have to think about that.
Yeah, that's unreal, dude.
Jeez,
I don't know.
And time flies too. That was 2000. So
it's unreal.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I'm going Gabe as my power surfer because I think he's the most deadly surfer in small and big conditions at Chopu. He's just so gnarly, and he's my power. It's just crazy. He's down on the bottom, like he's down the ratings, but there's going to be a shift. I think now the cut is over. I think everyone will just be going for broke, and I think Gabe will be for sure. And hopefully, we'll get to see him. Maybe we'll get to see him in a Kelly, the Gabe John final. So,
that's such a good call, and you reminded me that, I lost my train of thought on Kelly. That it's been so long, but on Gabriel Medina, you just said something that, I know what it was, that he is good in large and small surf. And I forget that in this event, we'll probably have a little bit of both, large and small surf. And when we say small, it's still going to be overhead Teahupoo on a reef. But
Yeah.
Gabriel Medina is so good at that. And in my video, I show him on the smallest day I've ever seen there against, I believe, Jeremy Flores doing airs. I mean, he's got the complete package, especially in this. And historically, Gabriel Medina has done really well at the end of the year. He's always come out sleepy and then gets into it, and the next thing you know, he's in the finals. And that could happen. Wow, incredible. So we're a few minutes out from a hard out. T-Bone, do you have time for a trivia question?
Yeah, mate.
Or
Yeah.
do you need to roll?
I've probably got 10 more minutes.
Oh, sweet.
Trivia.
Nice. Trivia time. So I messed up, and last time I didn't do a trivia question. We're going to have 2 trivia questions. The first one's going to be for
2.
a Teahupoo, Teahupoo, I don't know, whatever you say it. But I'm going to give you a map from, and by the way, it's my store, CARVE.SURF. If you haven't checked it out, go check out CARVE.SURF. CARVE.SURF will be sending you a minimalistic Teahupoo map that is pretty cool looking. I wish I had a graphic. I would have put it up, but I didn't have time to
Just
construct
go to
that.
CARVE.SURF and you can check it out.
Just go to CARVE.SURF and check it out. And what I was going to say was a trivia question. Do you want to do a trivia question? And by the way, if you've won before, you can't, we got to give it to some other people. And T-Bone, you can't answer your own trivia question or mine for the map. Do you have a trivia question, or you want me to come up with something? I'm going to do this off the hip.
Do you want me to give one?
Yeah, I'd love it.
All right, guys, ready? Trivia. Here it comes. First answer wins.
What year
Wow.
did Kelly come out of the barrel and crack the can of beer and take the win?
Wow. I don't know that. I have a guess. Do you know the answer?
What do you mean, cracked a beer while riding?
Yeah, when he came out of the tube, he cracked a beer of the local beer, sculled it, and came out of the tube.
No way.
Yeah. I remember this. I think I know roughly when it is.
Oh my
So
God.
you know what year it is, right, T-Bone?
All right,
Yeah,
we got an answer.
I do.
We got 2.
Okay, so here comes some of the answers. You want to read off the answers there, Heidi, so that
2014 question mark, 2003 question mark, 2005 question mark,
any of them,
2011?
T-Bone?
26,
Keep going.
Not yet. No
2002,
one's
2008, 2005.
So, sorry. Did someone say 2005?
Yep,
Yes.
Craig Ford. But he's already won, Craig.
No, Craig hasn't won.
Isn't that Shaggy?
No,
No.
Shaggy is
Okay. All right. So, Craig Ford, you're our winner. No, wait, Sean got it before Craig. Sean got it way before Craig.
Oh shoot, Sean got it. Craig,
Sorry,
I'm
Craig.
so sorry, dude.
So,
Craig, hit me up. I'll get you some consolation prize for being announced. Sean, hit me up at oldsurfdad.com and I'll sort you out with the poster.
2005, beer slamming.
2005.
Kelly Slater. All right.
I honestly, T-Bone, would have guessed that it would have been like 2012 or something like that. 2005. He must have still had hair then.
I mean, no, he was bald.
Exactly.
But how awesome is that? Coming out of the barrel, having a beer. I mean, that doesn't get any better, right?
Yeah.
Pretty funny.
It's hard enough for people to get a barrel and then come into the beach and have a beer, but to do it all at once, it's
Where did he keep it? In his pocket? Was it like in his backpack while he was surfing?
I think he had it in his shorts.
Okay.
That's me, can it be a mate? Well, I don't know. T-Bone would know, not me. So I guess, God, that's a really good trivia question.
It was really good. It was fun too.
I almost want you to do the next one.
Craig Ford says it was a Foster's. That's a big old beer.
What? I don't know if it was that. Exactly.
Now that's a shit beer.
That's a shit beer. Well, Australians do not drink that, by the way. You're going VBs, you're going Cheeky Monkeys. What are you going?
Yeah, don't people usually have Cheeky Monkeys in their pants?
Oh, mate. Hopefully Jack Robinson comes out of a tube with a beer.
Yeah.
Boy.
All right, check this out. We're going to do one more. And by the way, Shaggy was just saying the Margie's T-shirt is cool, and he was our winner last time. Congratulations, Shaggy. Good to see you back, by the way. And my trivia question was going to be, wait a second. Should I let you do another one? You got another one in your back pocket, or should I do mine? I had a couple.
You asking me again?
Yeah.
I can do a quick one.
Give it to us. This for a T-shirt, you guys, from CARVE.SURF.
What year did Mark Occhilupo win Tahiti?
Oh, there you go.
All right, first answer wins it. What year did Mark Occhilupo win Tahiti?
Tahiti, I mean, yeah.
And this is, I believe it would have been the Billabong Pro Tahiti.
1999, says Darren. Is that correct?
That's right. Well done,
All
Darren.
right, Darren.
Damn. Darren, well done. Darren, contact me through the website at oldsurfdad.com, and I'll get you sorted. And
how many people are Googling this while we say it?
I think so. Well, the other one, all right.
No.
Listen, I'm feeling generous today. I'm going to do one more. I'm going to do one.
Another one. You, Darren.
Final one. And this one will be for another Tahiti poster, or not poster. It's a fine art print. It is a fine art print. It's a minimalistic map. It's of Tahiti. Check it out on CARVE.SURF. If you go to the homepage, CARVE.SURF, and scroll down past the T's, you'll see it in the office environment. You'll see the print, and you can click on it and see the print up close. So this print is cool. I love this print. And the question is going to be this. There are 3 surfers, and they have these 3 numbers. Tell me who they are. It's number 10, number 11, and number 12.
Whose jersey numbers are those?
Thank you, Heidi. Yeah. Hallie Heidi's on it.
Number 10, number 11, and number 12. Who wears those jersey numbers?
And I can start giving hints if we don't get it.
Just give it a minute. They got to Google it.
That's hard because you can't really Google that one.
You won't get it.
Right.
Yeah.
You got to get all 3.
You got to get all 3. You got to get all 3. I'm hesitant to say that Craig Ford is right, but he is. Now listen, guys, you got to get all 3.
Right, all 3 in your answer.
In one comment.
All right, Sean.
Oh, Sean is so close.
Yeah, no.
This is great.
Good question, mate. Good question. I wouldn't have a
10? Who wears number 11? Who wears 12?
These are like the quarterback numbers in the U.S., as you guys call it, the gridiron, mate. It's the quarterback numbers. Let's see what we got.
Sean, you're not right. Totally. All right. You can't win again.
Oh, yeah, you can't win again.
But
So
now
somebody
going to copy it.
somebody just okay, what do we got?
All right.
There we go. Greg Smith, you can't win again.
All right, Sammy.
Wow, look at those 3 surfers.
All right, Sammy Lawrence. Sammy, get in touch with me through the website, and it's at oldsurfdad.com. Sammy, get in touch with me, and I'll sort you out for the poster.
All right, that was a lot of trivia, you guys.
That was way too much trivia, but we'll do more on the next show. T-Bone and I will be back to look at our picks, to see how we did in Tahiti, and we'll also probably pick El Salvador. And I think, T-Bone, I'm going to be in El Salvador, and I think we're going to do this. I'll be in El Salvador. You'll be wherever. I don't know if you'll be home by then.
I'll be home.
Great. So we'll do it then. And, yeah, I can't wait. Looking forward to it.
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Stoked, mate.
Hey, thanks.
Can't wait.
Yeah. We're going to have to come up with some kind of bet. I don't know what your local pizza is, or what my local pizza is. Maybe what I do is I call your local pizza from the U.S. and place an order for you and have it sent to your house.
Wow.
And vice versa. Maybe do something like, I don't know. We have to come up with some good, side bets, if you will.
Oh, man, I'm all down for that. I'll think of something.
Yeah, we'll think of something, and we'll announce it on the next show. More quiz time. Next time we'll have more trivia
Kids like
questions.
the quizzes. The kids like the quizzes.
Yeah, and it's fun. Hey, listen, I just want to thank our producer, Holly Heidi. I want to thank T-Bone for waking up at 4:30 in the morning. And hey, thanks everybody for joining us. And we'll see you on the next one. Podcast on anywhere you see your podcast, Current Surf Show. All right. Thanks, T-Bone.
You can re-listen to this broadcast. And then if they won, they're contacting you through how? On the website, through Contact Us? Is that correct?
Yeah. Contact page on the About page, oldsurfdad.com.
All right.
All right. Thanks, T-Bone.
Yeah.
We'll catch you later.
Yeah,
right
guys.
on, man.
Yeah.
See ya.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody. Dude.